Yeah. נעשה שבתך הכל ואל תצטרך לבריאס. Yeah, going through.
בעזרת השם, פרשת משפטים. So this week's parasha is the continuation of Parachat Torah, like Rashi says, ve'ele המשפטים. Last week, in the end of the parasha, we read Aseret HaDibrot. This week, we read Mishpatim. And Moshe Rabbeinu started to teach them. So Rashi brings down, they stayed in Har Sinai 1 year, minus 10 days. Since we got the Torah on Vav Sivan, they stayed 1 year, right? Till Iyar, and then they traveled away from the mountain. Okay? So Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching them. Now, once we got there's a parasha, there's some of the parashot over here, Rashi says, which are not in order, chronological order. Why? Because it says over here in the parasha, Vayiven Moshe Mizbeach Tachat Ha'ar. He says, Rashi, this Mizbeach was built lifnei Matan Torah. This was built on the 4th day of Sivan. And Moshe Rabbeinu didn't go up till the Vav Sivan. Okay? Omer, that sometimes in the Torah, the parashot are not exactly in order, right? And then it says, Moshe Rabbeinu went up. Vayal Moshe el Ha'ar. So there's a pasuk over here that says when Moshe Rabbeinu is about to go up to the mountain, Vayakom Moshe, Veyoshua Mishareto, Vayal Moshe el Har Elohim. Moshe gets up, Vav Sivan, Yoshua accompanies him, and Moshe goes up by himself. Why? Because no one had the right to go up the mountain, right? The Am stayed backwards, Zekenim a little bit more towards the mountain, and Yoshua just by the border of the mountain. Rashi comments on this, Vayakom Moshe v'Yoshua Mishareto, Lo yadati ma tivo shel Yoshua kan. What is Yeshua doing here? Why don't you stay in the camp? What does it give you to go a little bit further? Right? So Rashi says, I can explain, שהיה התלמיד מלווה לרב עד מקום הגבלת תחומי ההר. So we have to explain that Yoshua, which is the loyal student of Moshe Rabbeinu, he was accompanying his Rav maximum that he could. Where is the maximum? Raglei Har, just by the edge of the mountain. After that, he cannot go anymore. So everybody stayed behind, and he went ahead. What was the distance? What was the distance between the camp and where Yeshua was? So I saw in the Sefer Tlalei Orot, he says it was not more than 10 to 15 minute walk. What's the raya? When Moshe Rabbeinu is coming down from the mountain, Vayishma Moshe et kol ha'am bere'o. They were able to hear the screaming of the camp. They were doing Yigel HaZahav, right? And Yoshua was saying, oh, there is milchama. And Moshe Rabbeinu said, lo kol anot, lo kol milchama, lo kol anot. So he says, if you're able to hear the camp, it wasn't so far. He says, 10 to 15 minutes. Mazer noten. What does it give? Okay, the camp is here, and you're coming with your Rav. Okay, go back. Go back. The Gemara says, Yoshua took his tent, and he put it there. Okay? He put it to Raglei Har, away from the camp. Lama? What's the idea? Say Baalei Musar, say Chachamim. You know what the idea was? He wanted to hear the first lesson of Torah of Moshe Rabbeinu coming down from the mountain. As Moshe Rabbeinu is coming down from the mountain after 4 days, he wants to ask him, Ma amar lecha HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Ma limed otcha HaKadosh Baruch Hu? He wants to hear it before Moshe Rabbeinu goes to the camp and teaches it to the others. כמה זמן זה יהיה? No, תכף תראה, היה לו אהבת התורה, and we're going to see how. 10 minutes, you cannot wait 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. Moshe Rabbeinu is going to come in 10 minutes. He's going to come down from the mountain and he's going to teach everybody. You want to know the shir 10 minutes before Moshe Rabbeinu comes. מה העניין? Chachamim says, אהבת התורה. He loved Torah. Okay? And to see that, the Gemara in Yuma, Ayin He Amud Bet, Ayin Vav Amud Aleph, the Gemara says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he saw how much chavivat Torah alav, right? Makara, a nes happened. Every day, everybody got the man. The man came down, everybody got the man. Where did people get the man? Next to their tent, next to their thing. Where did the man fall? In the camp. In the camp, right? Yeshua is outside the camp. Says the Gemara, Lechem abirim achal ish, ze Yoshua shiarad lo man keneged kol Israel. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a nest for him that his portion of man came down next to his tent, though it was outside the camp. Though it's outside the camp, it's a nest. Why is Hashem doing this nest? For him, just for him, to show us that what he did was a big teaching. He wants to learn the first lesson of Moshe Rabbeinu. When he comes down from the mountain, he cannot wait 10 minutes. I want to know it now. I want to get the first lesson from Moshe Rabbeinu. He had ahavat Torah. He had love for Torah. And Baal HaTurim, if you look last week, Parachat, the 2 weeks ago, Parashat Beshalach, there's a pasuk by Kriyat Yam Suf, okay? There was 2 clouds, Amud Esh ve'Amud Anan. Amud Esh, right? Amud Esh was like giving light. Amud Anan was giving darkness, right? Or was leading the people. So Bnei Israel, when they walked in the desert in the daytime, the Amud Anan, the pillar of the cloud, which was a pillar, was walking in front of them and was straightening out the path to be able to walk and showing them where to walk. Then at night, when the night came, there was another cloud coming and puts himself in front of the Amud Anan, and this is a cloud of fire, Amud Esh. Why? To give light in the camp, right? Lo yamush Amud Anan ve'Amud Esh Laila. All 7 days they were walking, the Amudim were always there. Says the Baal HaTurim, as you know, Baal HaTurim was very strong on finding the same words. Where you found it in the Torah? He says, where do we find the word Lo Yamush Od Pam? Lo Yamush Amod Bicha, okay? And another one? Lo Yamish, Lo Yamish, Lo Yamish. The word is Lo Yamish, Lo Yamush. Lo Yamish. Where do we find it? Yoshua. Okay? Ve'Yoshua Misharat Moshe Lo Yamish Mitoch HaOel. He says, what's the connection? He says, the connection, says the Baal HaTurim, the connection is the same way that the 2 clouds were completing each other, daytime, Amud Anan. As the night is falling, Amud Esh is coming, straight there, right? Right away in the beginning of the night, you have light. There's no interruption in between. There was no interruption of the study of Yeshua bin Nun. Okay? He was learning Yomam Valayla, like the 2 Amudim. And what's the Hemshech of the Pasuk? Lifnei ha'am. Lachen zacha liot moreh lifnei ha'am. That's what gave him the koach to be the next leader of the Am Israel. Why? Because he was there Yomam Valayla. Like it says, Lo yamush sefer Torah ze impicha Yomam Valayla. Like day, night. Yoshua was day, night studying Torah. And he had the avat. He had the love for Torah. How far can the avat Torah go? So there is a Gemara. Whoever doesn't understand, Chachamim, is going to say, מה פתאום? מה זה הדבר הזה? אבל you have to understand, those Chachamim did it mishum ahavat Torah, because of the love of the Torah. The Gemara says in Brachot, Samech Bet Amud Bet, the Gemara says, Tanya, Amar Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva is teaching us, פעם אחת נכנסתי אחר רבי יהושע לבית הכיסא. One time I followed Rabbi Yeshua to the bathroom. Rabbi Yeshua is his Rebbe. He's his Rav. And he's going after his Rav to the bathroom. You know, if you do this, they can call the police on you. Right? And Rabbi Akiva, מלמד אותנו, is teaching us מה הוא ראה. למדתי שלושה דברים. 3 things. למדתי שאין לפנים מזרח למערב. As they were in Israel, right? And the Shekhinah is in the Mizrach, between Mizrach and Ma'arav, right? So he said, he saw Rabbi Yeshua facing, when he's doing his needs, he's facing north-south. So he understood right away, as lo sim, אבל אתה מסתכל על הרב שלך. He's in the bathroom, you're looking at your rabbi. Right? This week, we had a couple here coming and almost divorced because she opened the door when he was in the bathroom. So אתה הולך, you going to watch? You can imagine she just opened the door and he's watching him. And then he's teaching us Rabbi Akiva. And I learned, Lamadeti she'en nifraim me'omed. It was like sitting down. So you're not standing. So you're not supposed, when you make your needs, right? You alleviate yourself, you have to sit down. And third thing, she'en mekanchim beyamin ela bismol. When you wipe yourself, after you finished, you wipe with your left hand, not with your right hand. All this Rabbi Akiva is telling us while he was watching his Rav. Amar lo Rabbi Ben Azai, ech chutzpah, how did you dare look at your rabbi when he's doing his needs? You do this? So he told them, Torah hi velilmod ani tzarich. I need to study Torah. I cannot ask him those questions. It's too embarrassing. So I have to follow him, right? Ahavat Torah.
What about the case when he's under Rav Kahana's bed?
Rega, that's the following case, right? Then the Gemara brings a case even worse. Yeah. Worse means even more shocking, right? The Gemara says that Rav Kahana wanted to follow his Rav, which was called Rav. He wanted to know, what do you do with your wife in the bedroom? How do you behave in the bedroom? What does he go do? Hides behind the bed of his Rebbe, Rav, right? And he hears the way the Rebbe is speaking to the... So then Rav suspected, I feel there's somebody over here. So he told him, Kahana, you here? He says, yeah. So what are you doing here? He said, no, Torah. This is Torah, I need to learn. Maybe even if we try to understand Rabbi Akiva, what do you do with Rav Kahana? What do you do? But you see that the rabbis, if it's Rabbi Yoshua, if it's Rav, they didn't get upset. They just said, what are you doing here? Get out of here. Right? Zakol. Why? They understood if they do it, it's 100% purely love of Torah. I want to know what to do. I want to behave according to the Torah. I have to learn. Certain things I cannot ask. He's going to his rabbi. Some people, today everything is mutar. Today you go to certain rabbis, they teach you what to do. Right? But then I learned busha. Right? So to go see, it was less busha than to ask the rabbi what to do, right? But again, it comes down to one point. Love of Torah. That's why the rabbis did not get upset. Rabbi Yoshua did not get upset. Rav did not get upset. Why? They do it because they really love Torah. They really love to learn, right? Some people, bemet, are stam nudnikim, right? Some people, they have to ask a question, another question. I saw many times, Rishon LeZion, when he comes, right? So, sometimes Rishon LeZion comes, he comes for a breakfast. They do a breakfast. And people sit around and they wait, and then he gives a shiur, right? So some people, he's also a person. He has to eat. He has a full day ahead of him. So someone, he tried to put a piece of bread. Rabbi, what do you think in this case? And then he tried to take a tomato. The other one comes, ve'asiti kacha, ze beseder? I saw one time, he didn't get upset. But he told him, Rabotai, let's eat each one, right? He said it in a nice way, כוחנה ביחד. למה? כי זה סתם. אתה סתם שואל שאלות עכשיו. what? תן לו. It's not like following the Rebbe after in the bathroom or following under his bed, the bed in the bedroom, right? הוא עושה מה שהוא צריך לעשות, אבל אתה מפריע לו. אז תן לו, זה סתם, זה סתם curious. It's okay, you want to have questions, but the rabbi is allowed to leave, יש לו חיים, גם כן חיים, אז הוא אמר להם, בוא נאכל breakfast, ואחר כך כל השאלות שאתם רוצים. After that, you ask me all the questions. Then, I found, right, there was a big Rav. It was called the Rav Maram Shik. Maram Shik, he was a big Rav in the time of Khatam Sofer. It was Gaon Atzum Olam. Unfortunately, towards the end of his life, he became blind. And he was so big and so knowledgeable that he was giving the shiurim by heart and quoting Rashi Tosfot by heart. His Talmidim, his students thought maybe he didn't lose his sight completely. Maybe he's telling them he's blind. But because every time he used to give a shiur, he used to take the Gemara, put it in front of him. The Talmid would open on the page, and he would recite the Gemara, Rashi, Tosfot. So they thought, maybe he sees, and right? So they tried to test him. What did they do? They gave him a different Gemara. One time he was supposed to give Baba Kama, they brought Baba Metzia. and they put it in front of him, they opened the page, right? And he was reciting he was reciting the Baba Metzia, the Gemara, the Rashi, Tosfot, and then they understood he's really blind, right? Mesaprim alav, they say, the night before he passed away, he went over to his library, הספרים שלו, and took out book by book and kissed it, וביקש מחילה. What's the mechila? He asked every book for mechila not to learn enough in it. So he took out the book, he says, מחילה שלא למדתי מספיק בך, מחילה, put it back, מחילה. זה אהבת התורה. This is love for Torah. This mamash, this is rabbis that had so much love, right? Every book. That's why my Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Weinberg Zatzal, used to say, sometimes you go to yeshivot, you go to kolelim, you see all kinds of books piled up. He says, you have to consider a book of Rabbi Akiva Eger as if Rabbi Akiva Eger is here. If Rabbi Akiva Eger was here, so what the Rosh Yeshiva said, you would give him Mizrach, you give him behind Mizrach even, whatever, right? He says, his book, he's him. So yes, we have to have respect for the books, the love. We have to have the love to the books as much as we love the rabbis. Rabbi Akiva Eger, Chatam Sofer, whatever it is, you have to have this love for them. So this Rav, right, he went and he kissed every book. And I want to show you something, mamash mazeh Torah, really you understand. You all heard about Rav Meir Shapira, right? He was the Daf Yomi, he's the one, the idea, the wide world idea to have Daf Yomi, to learn one Daf a day, and in a cycle of 7 years, right, you finish off the Shas, right? His birthday is on Zayin Adar. Interesting. Zayin Adar is the Ilula of Moshe Rabbeinu. One year, the Talmidim said, let's buy the rabbi a present. He's teaching us, but it says, Ma hu yivakesh. This rabbi, he's not. So somebody says, go ask him. Whatever he wants, we'll buy for him. So one of the Talmidim went to ask him, Rebbe, tomorrow is your birthday. What would you like as a present? So he told him, are you really the Bachrim really going to give it to me? He says, yeah. He says, okay, for my birthday, I would like that all the yeshiva finishes the Shas in one day. The whole Shas in one day. The Bachur came to the Bachrim. He says, no problem. Right away they divided the Shas. 250 Bachrim, each one took half a Gemara, a full Gemara, a quarter of a Gemara, each one took, right? Then there was a Talmid over there. His name was Yosef Boim. He was a Ilui. He said, I'm taking Baba Batra, the biggest Gemara. Baba Batra, 176 pages. He said, I'm doing it myself. If you take Megillah, 30 pages. If you take, other Gemarot, Shabbat is long, 170, 156, right? But 156, 176 is a lot. Rav Yosef Boim says, in one day I finished the Shem. Is it? Go on. How can you finish Baba Batra? Rashi Tosfot in one day. They say they started the next morning, Shiva Ba'adar. They started. Everybody was sitting in Beit Midrash from morning till night. Rav Meir Shapira was sitting there, and everybody were learning the Gemarot. Towards the end of the day, everybody already, most of them finished, almost 90% finished. Then they wanted to know, Ma kara Baba Batra? What's with Baba Batra? Od ma'at Shkia, or as soon as it's going to be Shkia, we have to give the present to the Rebbe for his birthday on the day. So they were looking for Yosef Boim, they didn't find him. He says, Ma kara? They're looking for him. They found him in his room standing with his Gemara. As they walked in the room, says, don't bother me, I have 10 more pages. I have to finish before Shkia. He finished 10 pages before Shkia. 176 Gemarot. But what do you see? The love for Torah of Rav Meir Shapira. He came with an idea of Daf Yomi, but look what he's asking for his birthday. For his birthday, he wants Siyum HaShas in one day. 250 Talmidim sitting and learning the Gemarot, right? Rashi, Tosfot, the whole thing, the whole Shas in one day. This is for him, it's not a car, it's not whatever you want. That's not a present. His present, his matana. What present can I get? Siyum HaShas. Right? And that's I came also about with the Siyum HaShas idea. Okay? Also, to show us from the Gemarot, Ahavat Torah, how much Torah is Chaviva Lomdea, the Gemara says one time they told Abaye, Abaye was one of the biggest Talmudists, right? They say Avayot de Abaye Verava. Rabbi Yochanan was learning the Avayot of Abaye Verava. Abaye Verava was unheard of, the way they were arguing, the way they were learning, the way they were studying. They told Abaye once, Abaye was in Bavel, somebody came from Eretz Israel, v'shama chidush mi Rebbe. He heard the chidush of Rebbe. So Abaye right away sent a messenger, he should come to him, he wants to hear the chidush. His name was Rav Avira. Rav Avira said, I'm not going. I cannot go, I'm not going. So what did Abaye do? Alach elav. He said, if I want to hear chidush, I better go to him. He went to him. But Rav Avira was on the roof, in the house on the roof. So he told them, could you come down? I want to hear the chidush. He told them, I'm not coming down. So if he told him to come down, it means it was hard for him to go up. When he told him, I'm not coming down, Abaye forced himself. He went up to the roof and he asked him to tell him the chidush. Now Abaye is you're speaking about such a sommity of kokach gadol b'Torah, right? You can force him. No. If I love Torah, if I love chidushim, I have to go after Torah. Don't wait till Torah come to you. Okay? The mountain, they say, is a joke. The mountain didn't come to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu went on top of the mountain. You want to hear a chidush? Tilech la'ar. Go to Har Sinai. Go climb on top of it, right? It's not such a big mountain, but you have to climb. You have to make an effort. Lech tishma chidush. Go listen to the chidush. So I want to tell you, what does it mean, effort for Torah? Because you love Torah. You probably heard about the Rosh Yeshiva of Mir, of Natan Tzvi Finkel, right? He was the Rosh Yeshiva in Mir, I think from 1990 to 2011, right? He had like a medical problem. He had Parkinson. Yeah, but it was like in a very bad stage. Like it was completely, and he was giving shiurim and everything. And he took, since he came to Yeshiva Smir, the yeshiva doubled to 6,000 talmidim, 1,500 avrechim, 1,500 avrechim. He did tremendous things, but akochot shelo, right? As a disabled person, right? As a handicapped person, he had kochot atzumim, and he had a love for Torah. He took care of the yeshiva like his kids. He used to go a lot of times to New York to collect money. So he used to go to Manhattan, those places, those big... One time he called somebody, they told him, call this person, yesh lo yecholet, he's able to give you a nice donation for the yeshiva. So he called the person, and the person told him, listen, I can meet you tomorrow, but if by 12 o'clock, max, up to 12 o'clock, you're not in my office, I cannot see you. That's it. At the end of the day, I have a lot of obligations, I have a lot of meetings, I won't be able to see you, I'm going out of my office. So the rabbi prepared himself. He knew that he's a little bit disabled and everything. He prepared himself. And he went early. He got stuck in traffic. Okay, Baruch Hashem, even that passed, and he was able to get to the place. But as he's looking at his watch, right, he has 20 minutes before 12 o'clock to go upstairs. So he rushes to the elevator. But he goes to the elevator. That moment, Maaseh Satan, the elevator got stuck. Stuck on one floor. A lot of people downstairs. He's waiting 5 minutes. He's waiting. He says, Manaseh. Now, if he wants to go up, it's 22 floors. 22 floors to go up. He saw that nothing is moving with the elevator. He won't make it. And the guy told him, by 12, if you're not here, I'm sorry. He started to climb the stairs. He goes up the stairs. He gets there at 12:10. So the secretary tells him, I'm sorry, but my boss told me if you come after 12, he cannot see you. So he told her, please tell him, just come out. I just want to say hi to him. Just want to say hi. She went and she told him, the boss, what she can do. So the boss came out. Kavod, Rosh Yeshiva, Mir, Eretz Israel, Kavod. So when he came out, he saw the rabbi was all sweating. He was really dripping water, and he saw the Parkinson, the rabbi. And the secretary told him, you know that we have a problem in the building, the elevator is broken. So right away, he was very smart, the guy. 1 + 1, he says, 1 second. Do you want to tell me that you climbed up the steps? So I told him, yes. He says, come right away to my office. He says, in his condition, to come up 22 floors by foot, why? Because he knows if he can get a nice check, there's going to be more Torah in the world. Ahavat Torah. He has a love for Torah, right? He was willing, with all his condition and everything, he was willing to go up 22 flights, right? Just to bring this check for the yeshiva, so more Talmidim could enjoy and can sit and learn Torah. This is Ahavat Torah. Ahavat Torah means, right? We should have Ahavat Torah. What it means? There's no limits. If you really love Torah, you go there, right? If you love Torah, you'll do things which are not really acceptable, like Rav Kahana under the bed and Rabbi Akiva in the bathroom, right? If you really love Torah, you go to the limit, like Yeshua goes to the limit of the hour, as much as he could, because he wants to save 10 minutes of Moshe Rabbeinu coming into the camp, right? This is Ahavat Torah. We have to love Torah, right? And not for every little thing, okay, so tomorrow I'll learn Torah. No. If you have Ahavat Torah, you want it now, right? You want it, and you want to do everything possible, so you should have access and be able to learn, right? This Torah Kedosha. So this ve'ele mishpatim mosif al rishonim. We got 10 divrot na'aseh v'nishma, and even more, the other mishpatim, we should learn the laws, we should learn with ahava v'cheshek. Amen. Ken yirah tzon
Stuck there.